What's up, fight fans? Good afternoon from California. So I just saw online that the news of Masayuki Ito of Treasure Boxing um, no longer working with Casimero is apparently fake news, but that's also 50-50. If that's the case, that is good news. I don't see any reason why Masayuki Ito should trash Casimero right away. This is a first time violation. If he goes overweight several times in a row, then yeah, I understand why he would want to work with General Casimero. This is good news on both parties because this is Casimero's hope. This is Casimero's how do you say this? Yeah, this is one of the last of the big promoters that would want to work with him. And for Masayuki Ito also, because Casimero is the face of Treasure Boxing. Without Casimero, no one would really know what Treasure Boxing is. And yeah. That being said, the unfortunate circumstances is that Casimero is banned from Japan for a year straight. Hopefully, Masayuki Ito can work it out to shorten the ban or something, because Casimero made weight the next day. He made weight the next day of 128 pounds. Yeah. And for me, if he's ready for I believe he is ready for Naoya. But yes, he's gotta fall in line because he's now he has two mandatories to fight. However, Inouye's fight with Sam Goodman is also in very much jeopardy because the WBA mandatory Murodjon Akhmadaliev is threatening legal action if he doesn't defend the belt. So my guess is that Inoue is going to, if Inoue fights Sam Goodman, he's gonna have to vacate the WBA belt, or if he fights Akhmadaliev, he's gonna have to vacate the IBF belt. Now, if any of those two circumstances happen, then we have hope of a Casimero versus Inoue showdown happening next year. And if this ban isn't lifted, it's gonna happen most likely in December of 2025. My opinion, my take, I think it's still a good fight. It's still an interesting fight, and I hopefully it comes to fruition. There's also another incident where Paddy Casimero threatened to punch a judge at the airport in Narita. We still haven't heard the side of John Rigo Casimero and this team, so I don't want to go into jump to conclusion that is the facts. That's the reality. That is what happened. So that's up in the air now, and I don't think we can discuss it. I don't want to discuss that right now. But Casimero's performance against Saul Sanchez was a career-saving performance, and that opened the eyes of many people that Casimero is indeed back, because many people were dismayed by his performance against Ugoni, and when they heard about him going overweight, the radiation loss, a lot of people believe that Casimero is not gonna beat Sanchez. Now, hopefully, Casimero and Sean Gibbons can come to terms so that Casimero can get better fights. He doesn't necessarily have to return to MB Promotions, but hopefully he can, just be civil with Sean Gibbons. Because at the end of the day, I believe you need to have a proper relationship with promoters. Look at a perfect example, if I'm mistaken, is Ricardo Mayorga. He's fought many promoters. His career went downhill. Adrian Broner fought Leonard Ellerby. His career went downhill. Again, this is the path that Casimero faced. But I haven't really seen any backlash on with Casimero and Sean. I haven't seen Casimero dissing Sean Gibbons on social media lately. And honestly, I don't think that Casimero has actually ever really dissed him. It's just his brother that called him a white dog, white egg. So that's that. But in my honest opinion, I believe that as a professional fighter, you gotta be professional inside and outside of the ring. And it's always nice. It's always best to avoid that type of conflict, especially with boxing promoters. Especially, I think that Treasure Box Masayuki Ito will continue to work with Casimero, hopefully, and hopefully, he could probably fight in Korea within the next year or so, and then once the ban's over, go back to Japan. But I really think that the Inoue fight should come to fruition, hopefully, before Inoue goes up to 126 pounds. And like many people in the Philippines, I believe that General Casimero is the one that can defeat Naoya Inoue. And it's become more apparent when Inoue got dropped by Luis Neri. Yeah. But like I said, I'm very happy for him that he beat Saul Sanders, and a lot of people are discounting his victory. It's just a tune-up fight, but everyone's saying it's just a tune-up fight. You guys have to understand. You guys were all over Sanchez knocking Casimero on, and then now that he lost, it's just a tune-up fight. It's just an activity fight. I don't understand these fans sometimes. But at the end of the day, I believe that General Casimero is, Casimero is, still one of the top Philippine fighters. And he has what it takes to beat Naoya Inoue. I think he can even stop Inoue within 4 rounds. But we need to see the General Casimero that showed up to fight Saul Sanchez if he wants to beat Inoue. If he's the General Casimero that fought Yukinori Oguni, that's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be a very hard fight for Casimero, and I think Inoue also would stop that version of General Casimero. And but I think the problem with Casimero, I think, is when it comes to fighters he knows he can beat easily, he doesn't prepare as hard for them. But if it's a fighter that he feels has a chance of beating him, he's gonna prepare. He's gonna prepare double times as hard. For me, usually, we should look at every opponent as equally the same as a fighter. Whether he's a world champion, a 4-round fighter, or whatnot, look at them as the same. Because look, with Oguni, that fight nearly slipped away from him. But I feel like it was a foul play because Casimero that fight should have went on. There was no headbutt. It was just one overhand, right?